All right, we are live on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Thank you very much, everyone, who are joining us today in the panel session. I see that already people started to join, so we're so happy. Thank you very much. So, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Bishkek American Center panel. It's a culture connection panel, Kyrgyz and Hawaiian traditions. And let me introduce our amazing guest speakers today, Jordan Antonio from Hawaii, United States, and Adel Bayizbekova. She is Flex alumna from Kyrgyzstan. So, dear viewers, dear friends, so today we are going to have very exciting topic to be discussed, the traditions, Kyrgyz and Hawaiian. So if you have any questions, so you can ask them during the live. Please type them in the comments under this video. And after the presentations, our guest speakers, our panelists will answer them. So now I would like to give a virtual floor to Jordan.
Okay. Thank you for that very kind introduction. And I'll share my screen. Let's see. Okay, can you see my screen? Okay. Yeah, please don't mind all the tabs.
Yes.
Sorry, it's taking a little while to load.
Yes. Yes, it takes some time to be to be on the screen.
Let's see, is it shared in presentation mode at the moment?
Yes, your screen is already shared, but I don't see the presentation yet. It takes some time to be on the screen. Yes, Adel, what do you see the presentation?
Not yet. I see that it's uploading, but yeah.
Yes. Jordan, could you please again, yes, reshare the screen?
Reshare?
Let's check. Yes, yes, please. Sorry for the inconvenience.
Oh, no, that's my fault. Sorry about that. Try this one more time.
What is the time in Hawaii, Jordan?
Right now it's 6 in the evening. Yeah.
How about the weather?
Actually, it's a little humid. It just rained, so it's for me. It's a little cold. It gets it's nothing compared to Kyrgyzstan, but it's a little cold in the mornings and nights. But it's a little humid right now since it just rained. Yeah. Yeah. How's the weather?
The same. Sorry. I don't see the presentation yet.
Oh, really?
Maybe,
shoot. Okay.
Maybe Adel, will you try to share the screen? Maybe we will start. Yes.
Can I also start?
No, it's okay, Jordan. Okay. The same here in Kyrgyzstan. The weather is cold in the morning and in the evenings.
Okay.
And
can you guys?
Yes, we see. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I think that I'll start. Thank you once again, Aida, for such a nice welcome speech, and it's just like so nice and cute that we keep working with each other, because it's not the first time Aida actually we had different sessions and live streams, so I really love working with American Corner. So today, once again, we're talking about traditions, and we're going to discuss Nowruz holiday in Kyrgyzstan. You may know about this holiday from like other different sources, because actually it's celebrated in a lot of countries, and the most popular one is in Turkey. And a lot of people, when I was back in the United States, when I was telling them, and other exchange students were like, "Oh, that's a Turkish holiday. Oh, I know this," but you can definitely say that it's not like just Turkish holiday or just like Kyrgyz holiday. It's more of a celebration of nature, in my opinion. Oh, sorry, shoot, I forgot to introduce myself. Sorry, once again, my name is Adel Bayizbekova, as Aida said earlier, and I'm a Flex alumna 2020. I was born and raised in Kyrgyzstan, in Bishkek. That's the capital of Kyrgyzstan. So I spent my whole life here, which is kind of, well, a way to go. Yeah. So talking more about Nowruz. Nowruz is also, as I said earlier, that's the celebration of nature and the celebration of the celebration of nature and celebration of spring, because it always happens on the 21st of March. And as you may know, it's also the day of equinox, when the length of the daylight is equal to the night's darkness. Basically, when the time of the day and the time of the night are equal. And during our history, a lot of people believed that it brings new beginnings and it means a new year, and it also starts new changes. It also believed that on March 21st, the nature wakes up from winter sleep and just fill the earth with sunlight, warmth, and for Kyrgyz people, as for nomads, the winter season was especially hard. So the spring and the coming of the spring was something really helpful and full of joy and brightness. As I said earlier, it's like a huge, massive celebration. And I believe that sometimes it's even bigger than New Year's, like the traditional New Year's on the 31st of December, because we have massive festivals all around the country. For example, in Bishkek, in the capital, our city hall organizes a huge festival with like hundreds of people dancing in the traditional clothes. You can see some photos over here. A lot of kids running everywhere. Women are cooking traditional meals, and all around you can see places, little tents where you can get like more, where you can try different meals, where you can try different cuisines at the same time, which is really nice. And there are a lot of like I don't know, I can't even say the, when like some sports teams start to present. So they do a lot of this, and at the same time, they're also like government officials are speaking and congratulating everyone with this celebration. So that was really a lovely experience. I used to never go to this main square because there was always a lot of people, and my dad was always like, "Well, we're not gonna go there. There are a lot of people. You can get lost. Just super overwhelming." But what is especially funny that I decided to go to the celebration when the pandemic started, basically. And it just like happened a couple days ago, and I was like, well, yeah, I know that it's like coronavirus everywhere here and there, but I just decided to go there. And it was so lovely. There are a lot of kids, just so much people. Really lovely. And I really love this celebration because it also means new changes and new hope, and people just try to, clean their houses, pay off their debts, and just finish all their, I don't know, you have some tasks left and you just like keep procrastinating. And I feel like Nowruz is kind of like a celebration when you really have to get your life all together and put all the things in order. So that's really, I don't know, kind of like even inspirational thing about it. And also, as a huge celebration. A lot of people have huge family gatherings, and especially in the capital of the city, people try to move back to their villages and spend more time with their grandparents, especially. It's really, really lovely. People are dancing, wearing traditional clothes, and you can see a lot of people there wearing kalpak. So that's a national. Um, sorry, there's a national hat, as you can see here. Usually men wear that, and a lot of people are playing national instruments. So everywhere, like if when you are stepping out of your house in Nowruz time, you can see people everywhere. They're just so cheerful, joyful. And I remember when I was young, um, I met someone, I don't even remember, was it a man or a woman? But it was Nowruz time, and I was with my brother, and he just met us. And he was like, "Oh, I'm wishing you all the best in your life, and here you are." And he gave us some money, and I remember there was a lot of money, and he just gave us to us, and he was like, "Oh, just go to the go to the marketplace, go buy some fruit or go buy some ice cream, go do this, just enjoy yourself." And we were like, "Oh my gosh, that's just so much money." So I have really pleasant and warm memories with this celebration. And as well, we believe that people are part of a natural cycles of life and death. And I really like that because there's so much spiritual background before background. Sorry, my English is broke. Background behind this celebration, because also people believe that Nowruz gives more power and spiritual connection to the nature, and I really love that because when everything gets so globalized and people just forget about necessary things, and the ecology gets really worse and worse every year. So I really love that at least one day in the year people are like, okay, we gotta go to the park, we gotta go to the mountains, we gotta do something really nice for the nature. That's the other thing I really love about this celebration. And also, as I said earlier, people are so welcoming on Nowruz. I don't know why. I mean, like, it's just going extra everywhere. And you can see, even in my house, for example, we're not really talking to our neighbors. I mean, we can say hi, we can say how are you, but that's it. But on Nowruz, we can just you're just like sitting casually on your kitchen, and you can see someone walking from door to door, and then you hear a knock on your door, and they're just like, okay, how are you? How's life? We're wishing you all the best, and we're wishing you peace for your house. And then you just like sitting, and you're serving tea, just talking, and I feel like it's a lot of brings a lot of connection to people just in general. Also, a really, really special part about this celebration is sumelok. Sumelok is a national dish. It's a national dessert that only cooks at the time of Nowruz. And it's really, really hard to make. It takes hours, and it takes like the whole night to get ready. So it's made from fresh wheatgrass, and it's prepared in a huge, huge pot on a bonfire. Like you can see it here. Usually when people cook it in the village, they have to take turns because you just get so tired. You spend the whole night. And it's more of a like, sometimes it even looks like a peanut butter.
Mhm.
Maybe it even tastes the same a little bit. I'm not sure. Yeah, so it's like really, really special. And especially in the city, you don't really have time to do this, and you don't really have a bonfire, and it's really difficult to cook it in the city. So every time when I see someone who's cooking simulok at their house, I'm like, oh my gosh, are you really doing this? That's just something wow for me, because I would never. Because even in the villages, there are like 6 to 7 people, 6 to 7 women who are, trying their best, and it usually takes 8 to 12 hours. So that's super special, and I really understand now why it only cooks in once in a year. um, and just in the beginning, I would like to say that Norus always meant new beginnings and lasting peace, harmony with nature. Um, and I really like this because, especially after pandemic, as I said earlier, people were so stressed and um, really sad because it was a hard time. And I believe that celebrating Nowruz on the main square of the capital of the city, that was something really worth your time, right? I just went there and there were just like so many people, and for a moment we actually forgot that something like coronavirus happened at all. Um, and it really meant like something. I had hope inside of me, like, oh my gosh, there's like, we're coming back to our normal life, and maybe there's definitely a new beginning. So I believe that it's just a celebration where everyone can get something for himself. So thank you guys very much for this presentation, and if you have any questions and you have anything to add to this presentation, please let me know.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for this great presentation, Adele. The Norus is always like special
I
holiday.
can't hear you. Sorry. Can you hear me?
Great. Yes, Jordan, we can hear you. Thank you, Adele.
Can you hear me?
Thank you.
Yes, Jordan, we can hear you. I think Jordan has poor connection. Adele, do you hear me?
Can you hear me, Adele?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, Jordan.
Sorry, I think I can.
No, we
thank
can
you so
hear
much
you.
for that presentation, and I think it hits very close to home about, everyone's been in this pandemic for over a year, and this idea of new beginnings is really important, and it's kind of like, I think, a refresher that all of us need right now. It was awesome learning about that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. I absolutely agree with you.
Yeah, actually,
Jordan.
I'll save my other questions for the end, and I'll let I'm sure a lot of other people will have questions as well. So I'll try and share my screen again.
Okay. I will leave for all questions to the end, so we can ask them at the end of Jordan's presentation.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Not yet. I don't see your presentation. Yes, it's not shared.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Jordan. If it's possible, Jordan, you can send me your presentation via private chat. I can share it from my side. I think that we have some technical issues. Yes. Oh, we lost Jordan. Okay, I think he will join us So, yes. So, dear friends who joined us recently, we are talking about Kyrgyz and Hawaiian traditions. And Adel Bayizbekova, Flex alumna from Kyrgyzstan, she already made a presentation, wonderful presentation about Nowruz celebration. So now we have Jordan from Hawaii. He will rejoin us soon, and he will make a presentation about Hawaiian traditions. So be active, please, and ask your questions. And I think it's very interesting to learn more about Kyrgyz and Hawaiian traditions. Maybe there are some similarities. Oh, Jordan, you joined us?
Okay. Sorry, I have a really bad internet connection right now.
No, it's okay. Don't worry.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for joining.
No, thanks for being so patient. Here, let me try one more time. Okay, share screen. Okay, so can you
we can see your. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, you can see the presentation?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, great. Oh no, I pressed the wrong button again. All right, let me just get this in presentation mode and then it should be ready to go. Okay.
Jordan, have you heard about Nowruz holiday before?
Yeah. So I have a couple of friends from Iran, and they celebrate Nowruz. Yeah, and in Hawaii, there's kind of a small Persian-speaking community that also celebrates it. But I didn't know the specifics that Adele had taught us about it being a time of new beginning and that really difficult food, solomuk, I think. Yeah, so so it's really interesting.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I think it's going. How long does Nowruz usually last?
It's only one day, 21st of March.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, is it?
Yes, it works.
Okay, great. Okay, well, thanks again for being so patient. And yeah, thank you for sharing about Nowruz. So as Aida was saying, my name is Jordan. I'm a graduate student at the University of Hawaii at Manoa. I'm in the Asian Studies department, and when I'm not doing school things, I enjoy cooking and learning about other cultures. So that was why I was really happy to be here and learn more about Kyrgyzstan in this particular season. Yeah. So I'm going to be talking about holidays that are celebrated in Hawaii today. A couple of months ago, I know Carol and Kainoa did an awesome presentation on Hawaii, a lot of the cultural diversity, animals, important places. And I think when you look at the holidays in Hawaii, you'll see a lot of that cultural diversity. So of course, many different communities here. They're the Native Hawaiians, the first people here. In Hawaiian, they're referred to as the Kanaka Maoli. And then during the plantation era, many workers from around Asia and the Pacific began coming to Hawaii to work on sugarcane plantations, particularly from Japan, the Philippines, China, Korea, in other parts of the Pacific, so Samoa, Tonga, had workers come from Puerto Rico, from Europe. A lot of people came from Portugal and Spain, and they brought the cowboy culture, the ranching culture. People came from Germany as well. Then after Hawaii became a territory of the United States, you see much more American influence. And in the past few decades, we've been having a lot of people come from the Marshall Islands and the Federated States of Micronesia, so a couple of other island countries in the Pacific. And there's also small communities of people from Guam, Vietnam, Thailand, Laos, as I mentioned earlier, a Persian-speaking community, and even Russia. So a very mixed, a very cultural, diverse place, much like Kyrgyzstan, I think. So the first holiday I want to start with is in March as well. And Igerim emailed me and told me that these two holidays, Prince Kuhio and Nowruz, were happening around the same time. So on March 26th, we remember the life and the times of Prince Jono Kuhio Kalanianaole. So one of his biggest accomplishments was establishing the Hawaiian Homes Commission Act. After the illegal overthrow of Hawaii, Native Hawaiians were pushed off their land. So he fought very hard to try and get land reserved for them. There's still a lot of issues of Native Hawaiians having access to this land to this day, but it was still a really big accomplishment. And he continued to represent Native Hawaiians in Congress after the overthrow and Hawaii was a territory. So then a little earlier in March, we have Hina Matsuri, which is Girls' Day in English. And this was originally a Japanese holiday. As I mentioned, a lot of people from Japan came and settled here. So traditionally, you would give these very ornate dolls as gifts, and they would be displayed in the homes and eat various foods, particularly mochi. And this is just a celebration for the girls to kind of celebrate them in the family and in the community. On the first day of May, we celebrate May Day, and this is a newer holiday that was established after Hawaii became a territory. So it's celebrating not only the beautiful flowers that we have in Hawaii, but also the lei, which is a garland made out of flowers or leaves or other natural materials. At school, you would usually learn how to make these. There would kind of be a king and queen among the class, and there would be performances, often including hula, which is traditional Hawaiian dance. A few days later, we have Kodomo no Hi, which is Boys' Day, another Japanese holiday. So when I was a kid, this was one of my favorite holidays because my grandparents would usually give me money and we got to fly this koinobori, which is a carp kite. So carp are known for living very long lives. So in Japanese culture, the carp symbolizes a long life. And so we would hang these out in front of our houses, usually on bamboo poles. And we eat this another special kind of mochi. So you can see this usually in stores around this time in Hawaii. Next month, on June 11th, we celebrate Kamehameha Day. And this celebrates Chief Kamehameha becoming the first king. And he united all of the Hawaiian Islands in 1810. So yeah, as I've mentioned before, Hawaii was once an independent kingdom. So this is celebrating the construction of that kingdom. And here you can see a parade on Kamehameha Day with people wearing traditional Hawaiian clothing, wearing red and yellow, which were the colors of the royalty. Next, we have Independence Day. So this is something that I think a lot of people abroad have heard about, celebrated pretty widely throughout the US. You know, because it's celebrated in July, it's usually hot outside, there's a lot of barbecues. So, you know, there's common American foods that are eaten are like hot dogs and hamburgers and grilled chicken or steaks, things like that. But in Hawaii, depending on your family and your community, there's also a lot of local food, which I know Carol and Kainoa talked about last time as well. So not coincidentally, the Filipino Independence Day is also on July 4th. So my grandfather is actually Filipino. So for July 4th, we would often go to our Filipino families' houses, and we would have big parties and eat lots of Filipino food. So this is pancit, which is like a noodle dish, adobo, which is usually made from pork or chicken, and vinegar, garlic, bay leaves, pepper, and shoyu or soy sauce, depending on how your family makes it. Lumpia, which is basically a deep fried egg roll, and o's rice. It's like a necessity for for local food here. Later on in July, we have La Ho'i Ho'i Ea, which is Sovereignty Restoration Day in English. So when Hawaii was an independent kingdom, in 1843, a British officer threatened the mo'i, which is the ruler or the king at the time, and he took Hawaii. So for 5 months in 1843, Hawaii was actually under British rule. And later it was returned to Hawaii. So this is remembered on July 31st. And it was also pretty significant since Hawaii was the first independent kingdom in the Pacific to be recognized by not just European powers, but by the US as well. Now getting to one of the New Year's. So January 1st, year that's celebrated around the world. In Hawaii, fireworks are very important culturally. A lot of the different communities that are here, fireworks, the loud noises, the smoke, it's seen as kind of like a cleansing, a type of cleansing. And so the loud noises are supposed to scare bad spirits away, and the smoke is supposed to cleanse. So as soon as the clock strikes 12 midnight, all of the fireworks start going off. So I'll play a very quick clip just so you can see what it looks like. So this is actually from the side of the road that someone filmed. Yeah, the video is a little choppy, but yeah, so one thing that I think is really cool, those aren't professional fireworks. Those are just coming from people's houses. You know, people who just bought fireworks and let them off at 12 midnight. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Thanks. Okay, so now, yeah, as I mentioned, large Japanese community. So another New Year's tradition is mochi pounding. So yeah, I mentioned my grandfather's Filipino, my grandmother's actually Japanese. So making mochi around New Year's and then giving it to friends and family is a very common tradition. So mochi is made by having some special steamed mochi rice, put into a container like this, and then it has to be pounded for it to get to this consistency. So here's a very short video of me attempting to make mochi. Oh no. Hopefully it'll go.
Okay, it looks like
Adele?
we lost Jordan. Hi, welcome back. I think that we lost
Yes,
once again.
yes, yes. I think Jordan, yes. He has some technical issues, so he will come back. Thank you, Adele, for being with us. Just let be patient and wait for him. Yes, it's so interesting to learn more about Hawaiian holidays. Um, I've been learning Japanese for a while, and I see a
Oh,
lot of connections to Japanese culture. So interesting. So yes.
yeah, it's really lovely. And when he was talking about fireworks,
Mm-hmm.
he also said that people believe that the loud noises and the smoke will actually
Mm-hmm.
protect them. It's kind of like the same that we do here. I mean, like we're not really exploding anything, but we're also burning archa. So that's a really huge similarity as for me, because a lot of people, not really in different culture, they're not really. I don't think that they have something like this. I mean, in India, they used to burn this smell things.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only
Ah,
thing I heard about smell.
yeah. Yes, yes, it's absolutely true. I agree with you on that. So I think every holiday has own meaning, has own traditions, and it's so special. Yes.
Yeah, it's really cool that they have separate appreciation days for boys and girls as well. I kind of feel like that there's something that we miss.
Yes, I wanted to ask about the date. Why the Girls' Day is celebrated on March 3rd and the boys is on March 5th, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes, we received a question for you, Adele. How did you celebrate spring holidays?
Oh, that's so nice. Yeah, that was good. Really lovely time. I spent a lot of time with my family. I caught up on my work, which is also a really good sign. So yeah, we used to cook a lot and just kind of like traditionally, casually, as every Kyrgyz family does. Thank you so much for
Mhm,
asking.
mhm. Have you celebrated Nowruz when you were in the United States?
Um, Not really. It was not. I mean, it was not that huge, but yeah, I was explaining to my host family that yeah, we have such type of a celebration and what it means, what do we do. Um, I also tried to cook plov, but the thing is
Mm-hmm.
that when I just arrived, my host dad was like, "Okay, like tell me about your cuisine because that's the only thing that matters." And I told him that we cook in Kazan, and it's like a really special thing. Maybe probably you don't have it here in the United States. And then he just like found it on Amazon, like this one. I was like, yeah, this one. And I didn't think that he would order it, but he did, and it cost
Oh, really?
like $200, and it came like huge, huge. So yeah, it was a mess. Welcome back,
Oh,
Jordan.
So how long was I? I think I was talking to myself for a pretty long time. So when did it when did it
no,
cut
it
off?
was like 2, 3 minutes ago. We lost you accidentally. Yes.
Sorry, I just noticed like I just finished right now. So I think I was just like giving the presentation to
Oh,
myself.
sorry.
Um,
It
yeah,
wasn't a long time.
okay. Yeah, I don't know if I don't want to take up too much time, but
Mhm.
if you'd like me to finish or if we should
Yes,
take
sure,
questions.
sure,
Yes,
Jordan.
please. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it was so interesting. The last slide was about mochi, rice.
Oh, okay. Okay, was it? I see. Okay, I see. I see. Let me go. Um, all right, let me share this again.
Okay.
Thanks for your patience. You too.
Okay, totally fine. Don't worry.
Fine, yeah.
Oh, Adele, so I just wanted to ask you, and did you cook a plov in Kazan?
Yes, I tried, but the problem is that the stove was little and the kazan, like the special casserole, was too big. And I think that I spent there like 5 to 6 hours trying to figure out how to make it work. Something happened in the end. It was something really close to plov. Yeah, I mean it was plov. It was delicious, maybe. Yeah, but I just spent too much time on that.
Oh, I see.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yes. It
Hey, we
works.
can see my screen.
Okay, can you see the presentation?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I think I'll just keep it like in this mode because I think my like going into presentation mode might like overwhelm it.
Mhm.
So did I talk about this already?
Yes.
I think I talked about, okay, talked about that. Did I talk about this?
Nope, this one.
Not yet. Yes.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, so just going back to mochi. So in my family, um, we usually eat special foods for New Year's. Yeah, as I mentioned, my grandma is Japanese, grandfather is Filipino. So first meal on New Year's is always ozoni, which is mochi soup. It's supposed to be good luck. We also eat mishime, which is made up of several different ingredients, and each one is supposed to represent a different kind of luck. So there's usually this white radish called daikon, fish cake, potato, um, lotus root, a seaweed called kombu, a root vegetable called gobo, and I'm not sure what the English name is. But yeah, each one is supposed to represent something that could be helpful to you throughout the next year. So we also eat pancit, which is a Filipino dish, and the long noodles are supposed to represent long life. And then there are kuromame, which are black beans, and you're supposed to eat one for each year of your age. So I'm turning 32 this year, and I don't really like the flavor of these. So it's every year it gets a little bit more difficult to eat piles of them. But next we have the Lunar New Year. So this occurs between January and February, depending on the lunar calendar, celebrated in a variety of different communities: Chinese, Taiwanese, Vietnamese, Korean, Okinawan. The biggest ones in Hawaii usually take place in Chinatown. So here you can see the dragon dancers, and of course more fireworks. You can see, so red is a very important color, symbolizes good luck. And oftentimes older people will give younger people these envelopes, which usually have money in them. So for the final holiday, we have Obon, which is another Japanese holiday and occurs between June and September. It's a time where we remember our ancestors. So it's believed that our ancestors actually come back for this season. So we honor them and celebrate with them. And you can see here that a lot of people are wearing traditional Japanese clothing, and at temples and Buddhist temples and Shinto shrines throughout the islands, there are these very fun dances called bonodori, or bon dance, and anyone can go. There are traditional performances. These are taiko drums, so large Japanese drums. And so I'm a very bad dancer. So when I was in college, I actually took some Japanese dance courses to learn how to dance both bonodori and other Japanese dance better. Here I'm wearing one of the traditional Japanese pieces of clothing, the yukata, and this is my professor and one of my friends. And of course, we have more grilled mochi. And yes, so I just want to say mahalo, thank you, Rahmat, and spasiba for giving me this opportunity to learn more about Kyrgyzstan, Norwuz, and to share a little bit about Hawaii. Sorry if I pronounced the last two wrong.
No, thank you very much, Jordan. It was really interesting to learn about Hawaiian holidays, and particularly I noticed that Hawaiian holidays, I mean, they have great impact of Japanese culture,
Yeah.
and yes, it's so interesting. Thank you very much for sharing this.
No problem.
Yeah, thank you, Jordan. That was really lovely. We were talking with Aida about during the New Year's. You were saying that the fireworks actually, that people believe that the loud noises and the smell and the smoke, they protect the people. We kind of have the same in Kyrgyz culture, without explosions, but with the smell and the smoke. It's also it's kind of cool that we have kind of like the similarities. I really love to find the similarities in different cultures when I talk to other people. So thank you a lot for this presentation.
Thank you. Yeah.
Great. Thank you very much, dear Jordan, dear Dad, for sharing your wonderful presentations, your stories, and it was really exciting to have you today. And thank you very much. And the first question that we received from our audience, what is your favorite holiday?
Okay, is it a question for me or for
Yes.
Jordan? For everyone?
Yes.
Okay. You want to go first?
Oh, you can go. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, once again, I really love Nowruz. It's just really special for me. The other one is, I think it's the New Year, like the normal one. I don't know how to say that. The regular one. Yeah, we also have a lot of fireworks and family gatherings and just the whole mood when the whole city just turns lights and everything's like so colorful. Really love that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Adele.
Yeah, I would also have to say probably a New Year or something with fireworks, because I just really enjoy fireworks as well. Yeah, something I've never outgrown ever since I was a kid. Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Jordan. The next question again for everyone. How the pandemic changed the celebration of the holidays?
Yeah, in Kyrgyzstan that was a little different. I kind of feel like during the lockdown we didn't really celebrate at all in the normal way. We were just in our homes with our families. Lately I feel like it's been the same. Unfortunately, people don't really wear masks. People don't. I just don't feel like keeping social distance in our culture, like it doesn't fit. So yeah, I feel like nothing has changed really.
Thank you, Adele.
Yeah, I think everyone has gotten very used to doing things on Zoom. I mean, I think for like big things, I mean, trying to avoid, I guess, some of the bigger gatherings, but there have been like some fireworks shows. Neighbors have neighbors and people have continued to do things like that. But yeah, a lot has been celebrated over Zoom, I guess, to the best we can.
Yes, it's a reality of today's COVID. Thank you, Jordan and Adele. And the next question, Adele, for you. What are your family traditions to celebrate Nowruz?
Oh, well, usually, as everyone, we have family gathering, but we usually go to our country house, and it also brings a lot of memories because this country house was built by my grandfather and his kids, basically my parents. So every stone and every desk and everything that was made by them. So that really brings a lot of memories, and we just listen to some good music, cook barbecue. Yeah, that's just our family tradition.
Oh, cool. Okay. Thank you, Adele. And Jordan, do you have any special family traditions to celebrate local holidays?
Yeah, yeah, I guess um, getting together for family gatherings. Yeah, just eating lots of food. I think something that maybe my family does a little bit different because my mother is Jewish, and so we celebrate a lot of Jewish holidays. Um, so yeah, doing those together, and occasionally with the very small Jewish community that's here, yeah, is something we do. Mhm.
Great. Thank you very much, Jordan.
Mhm.
And I think it's my personal question to Jordan. I was very curious about it. Why the girls' day is celebrated on March 3rd and the boys on March 5th, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very good memory.
Numbers These numbers have special meanings.
They it might. Actually, it probably does. And I'm trying to think of it like in Japanese, like how like the numerical meaning for it. But um,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm not entirely sure though. I'm sure there is a much deeper answer for it though.
Okay. Okay, we will check. Thank you very much, Jordan. Thank you very much, Anel. We don't have the questions for now. I think people will watch it later, and for sure they will have some questions. So you can both check the comments also and see the people's. Oh, we received one more question here. From Ankiria. Kyrgyz and Hawaiians family gatherings and parties. What is the main dish served in Hawaii for holidays?
Yeah. Well, that's a good question. Oh, there's so much. I mean, when I think of Hawaiian food, yeah, some of the first things that come to mind are lau lau, kalua pig, which is that is usually if it's cooked in a traditional way, is cooked in an underground oven called an imu. Something that yeah, Carolyn kind of went over. Um, there's poi, um, squid luau. Um, Usually at these big gatherings too, and you can see some of the influence
Mhm.
of other cultures, but there's lots of local food, so rice and mac salad. So yeah, these are all common staples here. What about in Kyrgyzstan?
Mm,
Dave, will you answer?
yeah,
Me?
I'm trying to think. Yeah, there's
I think
also.
it's. Mhm.
Oh
Oh, go
yeah,
ahead. Go ahead.
well, um, I think it's also in our culture we have one of the main dishes. It's also with rice,
Mhm.
rice, carrots, and meat. To be honest, the whole like Kyrgyz cuisine is all about meat, a lot of meat, and everything is really. It's not. I would say most of the dishes are kind of like steamed, so it's more of a like healthier kind of version, if you can say that. So we have this. It's called plov. Maybe you tried that. Not sure. The other one is, well, personally in my family is kurdak. So that's basically potatoes and meat, and it's also like steamed in a huge pot. Um, what else? What else? Bishparmak.
Bishparmak.
Yeah, that's also noodles with steamed meat. As you can see, everything is steamed and everything contains meat. So yeah, what else we can say? I kind of believe that we have these are like the main like go-to dishes every time, especially bishparmak. When you have a lot of people and that's just happens casually, you have to like 20 people coming or like 30 people coming. That's just super casually, nothing like really special. We always cook bishparmak because it's kind of like the easier version of everything that you can possibly do.
Yes, that's true. Thank you, Adele. And one more comment. Thank you both for the wonderful session. One more question. I noticed that you love decorating the entrance door with leaves or pepper. Can you share what is in your background, Jordan?
Yeah, absolutely. I forgot that was there. Actually, it's just a string of lights. It's just like Halloween lights that I left up there for a very long time. It just gives the room like an orange tint when it's on. Yeah, a very good eye for the person who asked that question.
Yeah, I also thought that it was flowers or something like that.
Oh yeah, it's like those those. It's like a string of lights that people put up for the holidays here. Yeah, I just use lights sometimes.
Great. Thank you very much. Thank you, dear Jordan and Adele, for the interesting, incredible session. You are really amazing, and you taught us what is Kyrgyz and Hawaiian tradition. Thank you very much. And also, I would like to say thank you to our viewers who sent us their questions and comments. Thank you very much, everybody. Please stay healthy and see you in our next sessions. Bye bye, everyone.
Thank
Have
you.
a great day. Have a great evening.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.